how I've been tool assisting, the game. Previously, I actually had a controller, and I was sitting there playing with the speed slowed down, and just trying to get the mini turbos to be optimal, and trying to get what I wanted to occur. This run was done with a virtual controller, where I'm actually controlling the button input through a mouse.
Actually, I haven't seen this one.
So I have a lot more precise input here, including these huge jumps here, which are called the mile-style jumps, because Miles Buckram was, I believe, the first one to ever actually do one, even though it was believed to be possible. So when you watch Mark run that on Wednesday, he'll probably be pleased with something, I think, in like the 120-ish range. You just wouldn't try a whole lot of that stuff if you were not doing tool-assisted speedrunning. So here, there's not really a shortcut on this course, honestly, but I do go ahead and manipulate 2 stars by turning around, getting into second place, and getting 2 stars. You can get a star in second place. You can get most items in second place. It's just very unlikely. So that would be if you did that in real time, you would be beyond ecstatic. It just isn't likely. There is competition in speedrunning in the 150cc GP mode. But if you were to go and try to race one of these courses, for example, to get to Moo Moo Farm, you'd have to get past Luigi Raceway first. So you don't get many tries on it. So the times aren't really as optimal. Time trials is very optimal. So we've done some speedrunning on, or tool-assisted speedrunning on that. I think Michael Fried is one of the big ones who's done some stuff there. And generally, we can only beat the world records by a few tenths of a second, maybe half a second. So whereas in the GP mode, as you can see, we can beat the world records by tens of seconds, a minute, because you can do things that are kind of crazy. A lot of the time when I was using a mushroom there, I was doing a tool-assisted only trick, and that is when you slide, if you oscillate the control stick left and right every other frame, you actually get a slight boost in speed. So I don't even think you could get any boost in speed if you tried that real time, although I haven't tested extensively.
Probably not.
So that's an example where the game accepts the input, obviously the system accepts the input, but you wouldn't try to do that in real time. Here is Koopa Troopa Beach, which I went ahead and got in second to get a star there too. You'll see me get 2 more stars in this race while in first, but if you pay close attention on the bottom left, you'll see probably that I go into 8th for maybe 1 frame, and I use a boo. There you go. So I use the boo while I'm in 8th place, technically, because there's one polygon right there on the finish line that is mislabeled, I think, and thinks that you're back 1 lap.
Nintendo's so good at making games.
Yeah. There's several courses that have that glitch, and if this run included Royal Raceway, you'd see it used there, but it doesn't. So yeah, I'm just manipulating stars when I can, and then mushrooms when I otherwise couldn't do that. And here's one example right now where I'm going to be oscillating the control stick. I think that saved me a few hundredths of a second there to flick back and forth as fast as possible. The next one is really, really unique. Nothing quite like it in the game. It actually, so Calamari Desert has a intended shortcut in the train, which I believe, I actually saw an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto. They're like, hey, is there any secret in Mario Kart 64? Because there appears to not be, and he mentioned this shortcut, so at least that's what I recall. So it's an intended shortcut. So what you do is you go through the tunnel, and normally you would go back through the tunnel and use a star while you go past the finish line. You're next to the finish line. I go ahead and come in this direction on the tunnel, shoot off that shell, turn backwards, lose the star, because if you keep the star and go back across the finish line, you'll lose your lap. And now I'm trying to chase down that shell I shot off. And I need to catch it, otherwise I'm stuck in here. And I'm not too worried about catching it because I got to try every single frame that I turned to see which one was the correct one. But it still was challenging to line that up and get the timing down. So we're 10 seconds from the end, believe it or not, because that's... There we go.
That's all part of the secret route, right?
Yeah, that was intended shortcut, right?
Oh, yeah.
So just fun things you can do when you have the ability to save the position you're at and go back whenever you make a mistake or to try different things. That's really the fun part of tool-assisted speedrunning. It's like a puzzle.
No game is perfect. Everything can be broken.
Okay, so $10 from Cain as the guy who made the game. If I want to be the guy Gaiden doesn't meet its incentive, I'm going to cry myself to sleep while eating a tub of ice cream. Regardless of how much I end up crying, keep up the good work for the good cause.
Which one are you doing?
I think we're going to try grading again. Let me get it.
Now we have a Delicat on the line.
We should.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Excellent.
Apparently, we have crashed tasvideos.org.
Excellent.
Sorry, you're Delicat. I think.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
You
we good?
Yeah.
Take two.
All right, take two.
What's more with feeling?
So, Delicat, why don't you take some time to tell people how you did this?
All right.